Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be working more with our automating sieve system. Hopefully you guys are ready. Alright guys, so let's get right on into this. Today we're going to be working with a little bit of power, also with expanding our setup here. Kind of getting away from the controller and the Tinker's Contract Smeltery, because this causes a lot of problems, you know, with mixing ingots and things like that, which is never a good thing. But as you can see, of course, it does, you know, mix your metals and stuff like that. But we need these mixed metals eventually, but we don't need them as of right now. But we are generating them, which is not a good thing. So I think today we're going to work a little bit with mechanism. And kind of get into some mechanism things. I think that would be a good way to go, and we're also going to get up some lava generation for some power. That's going to be something very good for today. So, let's go ahead and look at this. So we're going to get with some thermal expansion. And we'll look at the magmatic dynamo. And this is probably going to be one of the best ways for us to generate power, but we're going to need Invar, as you can see here. There's a couple of ways we can get Invar. We can make the alloy kiln, which is a very easy way of making Invar, or we could use the Tinker's Construct Smeltery. I'm probably going to be using the Smeltery. It's just going to be the easiest way to do this. So we're going to need, let's see, I'm going to do a few of these. So if we take a look at the dynamo here, the Invar, and we look at the recipe for the Invar, it is usually 2 iron and 1 nickel, or 2 iron to 1 nickel. So we can do the same thing over here and say 4 iron, which would be 2 nickel if we were to do it that way. Or we can double this up and go 8 iron, and that's going to be the same thing. And we can just throw that in here. After all of this is done smelting, after all this is done casting, we'll worry about that. But I want to kind of go over this while we're waiting for that to happen. I went ahead and replaced these 4 sieves here with diamond mesh. And we have diamond mesh running through it. So a lot of recipes have changed as far as I know. And I was kind of looking at how do we even get into growing our inferium seeds, and it's just not going to be something that's easy right off the bat. Those recipes have been changed, and if we take a look at immersive and the garden cloche, you'll see this is made in an advanced crafting table. Now the recipe is not hard, but making the advanced crafting table is not an easy task by any mean. It requires a lot of expensive components, and for one thing, it requires this, which we're going to have to figure out how to do manually. There are ways, don't get me wrong, there are ways of doing this and making it a little bit faster. Take a look at how to obtain some of these, some of this essence, but like this essence right here would take a lot before we're able to get a garden cloche. So I know some people were mentioning garden cloches are a really good way of obtaining these farms and stuff like that. That's just not going to be something that we can do right off the bat. Those recipes have been changed. This is considered a late game mechanic. So that's just throwing that out there. And not to only mention that, but to be able to get this black iron, we need to sieve crushed endstone. That's the only way we can get it. So that's just something to also look at, is we need to go to the end. And I don't think we're getting to the end anytime soon. Let's see. Because I'm pretty sure we have to make end portals to be able to go to the end. Yes, and we have to set these down. And yeah, it's crazy. So, and that's after killing some wither, making enderium. And getting enderium, we're going to need platinum. To get platinum, I think the only way to get platinum, if I don't believe you can sieve it. No. The only way to get platinum is to use a pulverizer. It's a outcome from a pulverizer from iridium, nickel. It's a 10% chance from nickel. So that's pretty much the only way we're going to be able to get this. So I'll be saving my nickel for the pulverizer. But for right now, I kind of want to start processing things with mechanism. And to get osmium, you have to use a diamond mesh with dust. It's the only way you're going to be able to get some osmium. And you don't need much osmium, just a little bit, to kind of get started with what we're going to do today. But as you can see, this is done now. So we can throw this in here, flip this off, so that way it'll blend inside here. And I'll see you back whenever it's done. Alright, so I'm pretty sure we have enough Invar at this point. So I'll go ahead and take that, and we're going to work on a few things. So I have my porcelain and everything going because we're going to work on getting all that situated. And there was something else. What is it? Yellorium? Yeah, we're going to need a bit of this Yellorium. We're only going to need 9. So I'm going to take it up here and grab our crucible, and we're going to get that a-cooking. And we can worry about that later. Alright, and we can go ahead and get started here. And start working on the magmatic dynamo. And then we can go ahead and make the gears. Or a gear, I guess I could say. I'm not sure if I'm going to need more than one of the magmatic dynamos yet. Not quite sure. I don't have any fluid transfer nodes anymore. That's kind of crazy. So we're going to grab some transfer nodes. And I already have the pipe. I know I have a lot of that. Still have quite a few. And I think we're going to need another... Let's see, do we have lava? Buckets. So yeah, we're going to need some more buckets. Because I want to make another cobblestone generator. That is something that I do want to make. So let me grab a bucket of water. I'll grab a bucket of lava. And we should be able to make another cobblegen. We're going to have a lot of cobblegens, most likely, by the end of this series. It's just a really important thing. Now, I'm pretty sure this doesn't automatically output, can output to the inventory above, but it says it also can output to a hopper below, so we're going to use a hopper. We don't have to use a hopper, but I feel a hopper is just super easy to make, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to make this thing. It's going to require just about as much. I mean, we could use a flattened transfer node, but it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. Okay, so let's go ahead and break this. I know it takes a long time. I need an axe. I just don't have one near. And we have the uranium. So what we can do is we can craft this into a block. And this is going to give us 20 times the melt rate. As you can see, the rate is 20 times now. It's pretty bright in the sun. And then we'll pop a hopper here. And right up top, we'll get our cobblestone generator. And this guy is going to start filling and instantly giving us lava. How cool is that? Alright, so now is when we can get our transfer node. And we're just going to generate power kind of over in this direction for right now. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to go with all of this. Still kind of working things out. But I do know that we can do this. And this guy can go down. We're already going to need a wrench. So I'm going to turn him. This is just the smart wrench from RF Tools. I always end up making this thing. So easy to make. And there's no reason not to make one. So let's see. We can do it like this. This is going to kind of make our one machine we can power right here. Or we can have it facing up. And I think we might want to do that. Have it facing up. We're going to change some of our power setup to leadstone. I just find that this is a really good power cable. And we're going to be able to power everything like that. And this should be able to connect automatically. Let me actually get rid of that. I think flat transfer nodes would probably work better here. Alright. And I just hook my pipe up to it, and we have lava going into this thing. And there we go. And it's generating a little bit of power. So we get 50 RF per tick. It's not the greatest in the world, don't get me wrong. But we can line multiple dynamos up, and we can really have some decent power. Plus, upgrading these machines with augments and things like that will make it a lot faster. Alright, so let's get into some mechanism. Now, I know the crusher and things of that nature is not going to require that much power. And what I was planning on doing is just running my power cables up and around for right now. And was that actually... Okay, when this is full, it generates light, I guess. Oh no, there was a light right there. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I'm going to just have my power cables running around. It's just temporary until we get some things situated. But let's go ahead and start working on a few things. So a mechanism crusher is something that I would like to make. And this is going to require these basic control circuits right here. And you need the metallurgic infuser to be able to make this thing. So let's come down here. I do have some osmium dust now. And what I need to do is smelt just one for right now. We will need them later when we go to make these actual circuits. We're going to need redstone, and we're going to need an osmium ingot with quite a bit of power. And I'm really hoping, I may change my mind on these machines, but if these do not accept RF power, which I'm pretty sure they do, unless it's been changed in the config, we're not going with this, because we don't have enough space right now to manage the beginning power for mechanism. I mean, you have the solar panels and stuff like that, but I really hope this works with RF. If not, then that's going to be kind of crazy. So I'm going to grab 2 buckets. I'm going to need these later on. And let's see, we should be able to make the metallurgic infuser as of right now. So let's pop in here. We need 2 furnaces. And everything else should just fall into place. Like, we have everything else. Awesome. So this guy is a relatively loud machine. I'm going to place it right here. It doesn't need to be up on that side. I kind of want it over here because directly below this is the pipe where all of my stuff is going to go through. And that way, this will be our automation area. Just this little area right here. We only need 2 machines to run that. To run our ore processing. And honestly, you can use any machines. You don't have to use the ones I'm using. But if you like this, which perfect, look, it powers it perfect. So that's going to be awesome. And I'm hoping 50 RF is enough to power that thing. And I'm hoping we have enough redstone to do this. We do. Okay, we totally do. There we go. So we're going to need 2, just for the... We're going to use a different furnace. We're not going to use a mechanism furnace, but we're going to use this. So we're going to need 2 osmium ingots. Let's do this. I can't remember how much it actually requires per osmium. Is it just 1? 1 redstone per? That might be it. If that's the case, then this is so much better. Yeah. It's only 1 redstone, and we have so much power just coming from this. Now, like I said, all the power is coming from this 1 block. So there's really not that much to really worry about. We're not even using this setup. So bam. That's relatively fast and easy. That was painless. Thought it was going to be much more difficult. Alright, so the steel casing. Now this requires black stained glass. Or no, it requires glass. Any glass. Okay, any kind of glass and steel. And an osmium ingot, which we have all that. And then this guy requires everything that we currently have. And we now have a crusher. Perfect. So we can place the crusher right here. I'm pretty sure. I want to make sure exactly where our box is down here. Okay, so it's going to be ran... Let me go back down here. I'm going to have to run this cable up here, behind the wall, and into this machine. To just make it all kind of hidden. Bam, just like that. Is this actually picking? Yeah, it is. It's picking all of her stuff up. So I can kind of get rid of that. I can use this now to kind of go up into that area. And run this into here. And now items should start flowing into that once we configure this thing properly. So our transport config, the side config, we don't want the bottom to be energy. We'll set this to input. And this is where kind of things get a little tricky with this machine. It's always confusing for me to... We want items. Let me go to side config. Auto eject. Output. Input. Transport. Strict input off. On. Right? Am I missing something? The bottom needs to be the input. The output I'm not worried about, because the output's blue. It should be this is where I'm configuring everything. Right? So, I'm pretty sure this is the bottom. Let me try the sides. And I may honestly have to use their pipes. I don't know if, I mean, that is connected to it. Watch me hit just one button. Okay, this is energy. We're looking for items. Input, dark red. It's not letting items be imported in. Do I have... Oh, I have this turned off, that's why. Wait, no? This should work. This should work. What item do we have in there? Do these things even work inside the mechanism machines? Let's double check. That could be something that's a problem. These do not work inside the mechanism machines. Okay, so we're gonna have to scrap this whole idea. Right? So they work in the purification chamber. So we need the enrichment chamber to be able to get this to happen. Okay. Okay, so let's scrap the crusher. I thought the crusher was... I guess you live and you learn. You guys are probably laughing at me. So I need the enrichment chamber. So let's go ahead and make that real quick. Alright, so we will get into the crusher eventually. I went ahead and made that enrichment chamber. Now, let's go ahead and configure this thing. Strict input, let's do input... Or not strict, we don't want strict input on, we want strict input off. And I think if we set this to dark red, we change the sides and set this to input on red. Now we're going to start getting the things that we need in there and it's going to start crushing them. Okay. So that's a lot better than the mistake I was making. So, a common, I guess, a noob mistake. I wouldn't really call myself a noob, but I derped, definitely. That was a hard derp. But I hope you guys enjoy watching stuff like that. So now all I need is another machine, and I'm pretty sure this doesn't like push items to the other side, so it won't push items over here. So we're gonna need another machine, and I kind of wanted to make this furnace. Not in here. Let's actually look in here. So I want to make an inferium furnace. Kind of. This guy doesn't run on power, so that is something that I kind of am iffy about. The only other option, we may get into this, but because it doesn't run on power, I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to justify that. But we could go with the, I guess, I mean, I really don't want to go with mechanism, but we could. Not the infusing. Let's see. Let's see what we can do with this stuff. So, when it comes to mechanism, we have the metallurgic infuser that we could use with this thing. The combiner, which will actually make actual ore for us, which is kind of interesting. I'm not really seeing a machine that we could use with mechanism that would do that, but we can use a redstone furnace, of course, from here. That is a easy one to do. So we can do thermal expansion, and we can make just a regular furnace. That doesn't seem very difficult. There we go. And I think we have a tin... No, we don't. Yeah, we have pretty much all of this. This is no big deal to make. So there we go. Now we have a redstone furnace. I mean, it's all low-tier stuff. But we are going to need something to actually pull items to it. So I guess we could just use a item transfer node. And hope that this will let it export out on blue. So output on blue on this side. Please work. It does. Okay. And then we set this and configure our sides here. This will be input on blue. And we can set a chest up here. That way it can output to a chest. How about that? We don't need anything fancy. We'll be putting it, putting this stuff in our inventory soon. So really, we're just kind of getting this part down. Now we do have to get power to this. I almost forgot about that. All right, chest, you're not going there. You're definitely not going there. You're gonna go on the right-hand side of this, and hopefully I can open it with that there. Perfect, I can. There we go. So we'll change that. And there we go. Now we have access to that. It's going to flow into there. And we have just enough leadstone to power this thing. Sweet. So we have pretty much our ore production, our automated ore production going. Now what I want to do is I want to kind of move away from this crusher. This was just a one-episode thing. And I want to get into the Ex Compressum and start making some of their things that they have in their mod. Which is made to automate this stuff. So that's going to be something really interesting to do. And I want to get into this. So we're going to need to take our cobblestone generator that we have back there, and we need to auto-compress that, but the compressors are disabled in this pack as of right now. So using the RF Tools crafter again, which by far is one of my favorite, we just need the tier 1 crafter. We really don't need anything fancy. I mean, the tier 1 crafter is pretty much the same as making into the other crafters. I'm not sure if this uses less power. Actually, not sure about that at all, actually. But anyways, we do have a tier 1 crafter. I think this has like 3 or 4, I think it has 3 slots that you can craft to, which is perfectly fine since all we're doing is going to be compressing different materials. So we're going to need to get into Ex Compressum. And Ex Compressum has the auto hammer and the auto compressed hammer. The auto compressed hammer is the one I want to make because this is going to be the fastest for us. The auto hammer would be okay, fine to start with, but the auto compressed hammer is just going to be so much faster. And I think upgrading our cobblestone generator is going to be a thing we're going to need to do as well. We can do a heavy sieve. Now we can do these sieves. But honestly, I think the sieving solution that we currently have is the best at the moment. Even better than the heavy sieve. It's better than the auto sieve. So getting this is not going to be that difficult. We are going to need to get all of these going, including from iron all the way up into gold tier, which can be done within here. I'll show you what I mean. So let's go ahead and throw some of our machines away, except for the ones that we're drastically going to need. And I'll explain this. So, if you're using the panel that I'm using, it's very easy to do this. You have all these different slots. And right now, I don't need the stone hammer, and I can always make it later on. So, that's something that I'm not worried about. So, if we go to Ex Nihilo, you'll see all of our hammers are set up right there for us. So, I do know it's going to go wood, stone, I think it's iron, then gold, then diamond. So, we need to get all those set up in here. So, I know we're going to need wood, and we're just right now trying to make one compressed diamond hammer. So, if I double-click on here, this is a preloaded one. I'll show you how to store them here in a second. But I'm going to need to make 9 of them. Usually, you can hit the 8 and just hit 1. But I'm showing you this right now. So, that one's done. I'm going to go ahead and make this one. So, 8 and 1. I think I have an extra one in here. And then we move on into the iron, and we set that recipe here's where I'm going to store that recipe. As you can see, now it's stored right there. And we'll do 8 and 1. And then I'm going to create another one. And click on this recipe, hit store. And then we'll do 8 and 1 again. And now for the diamond, it's another one we can store. 8 and 1. And then all we have to do is make the compressed hammer, which we could do it the same way by just loading it up. It's just faster for me to make it like this. It looks like I missed one. Just one. So I think I had this stone, right? No, I didn't. But it's really that easy. So much crafting that you don't have to do. And there you go. Now we have a compressed diamond hammer. So that means we can make the auto sieve. Or not auto sieve, auto hammer. And I think we're going to have to make another diamond hammer for the Ex Compressum. For the machine itself to run. We're going to need some weighted pressure plates. And bam, we have an auto compressed hammer. So this guy will basically, as of right now, we have it set so that way when cobblestone in, it's going to turn it into cobblestone and vice versa. So if we have 3 of them, we can choose which place we want the items to go to. So we can have a drawer system set up to have cobblestone go in one. Right now we have a system that automatically makes gravel and sand for us, but we need something to make dust for us. So this is just not fast enough right here. This guy isn't. So I think we could easily get this set up to constantly have something going into this chest. So I can make more of these. I think I have... How many diamonds do I currently have? I think I have enough diamonds and gold and stuff to make 2 more of these compressed hammers, because we're going to go from cobblestone to gravel. That's 1 compressed hammer. Gravel to sand. That's 1 compressed hammer. Sand to dust. That's another compressed hammer. So 3 of these. We're going to need 3 of these in total. We should be able to manage that. Right? So 8 and 1. 8 and 1. I'm actually out of, what, wood? Let's just get all that. How many I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 of them right now. Almost have enough. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get these crafted up, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so for right now, I don't have that much diamond. So what I can do is I can just have this guy producing lots of gravel, and I think that this is going to be perfect for that. So let's go ahead and get this set up going. So I'm going to have my auto crafter, right, going right here, and I need to put it not directly behind. I need to put it not like directly behind it, but close. Let's see, can I do... Yeah, I can do it right here. I think that would be fine. I can still run power, and I can still have a cobblestone generator back here. So I upgraded my cobblestone generator. This thing requires steel, so just so you know. It does require steel, and you can have that set up. I'm actually going to need to remove this guy. Let me grab that wherever it went. It didn't go back in my inventory. That's not concerning at all. So that guy disappeared on me. Oh, it went in the hopper, that's right. It went down here. Wait, there's no way. Say, there's no way that actually went inside the sieving system, right? Please tell me that didn't. I have had an issue where you put something in here that doesn't belong in there. It will break it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that went in there. That is not good. That's the only bad part with these machines here, is that it can happen. It doesn't show that it did, but believe me, it probably did go in here. Can I grab this without it falling down? Good, it gets picked up in here. So yeah, I guess I lost that. That's kind of sad, actually. Oh, there it is. So yeah, I win the hopper, unfortunately. And that hopper is kind of hard to access. Next time I'll remember that I can grab it from here. But yeah, that sometimes happens. So just in case you're wondering what happens to your items, now you know. Now you totally know. So my sieves, they went there. Perfect. So you just pop this back on here and everything go back to working again. And just rebuild. Okay, so now that we have our item back, we can actually get this set up. Man, all this crazy stuff happening today. Alright, so getting some item transfer nodes. Because that seems to be all that we've been using here recently to get things working. We're going to put that underneath this machine. I think the best way of doing that will be to probably break the thing that we already had set up here. Now I can access the underneath. And the problem with putting a pipe here is that when I do that, I'm going to have to use my smart wrench. Honestly, it doesn't affect it that much, but I don't want to go in there. I don't want this back piece to be there. Perfect. Okay, so that's pretty much all set up. All you have to do is tell this that I want cobblestone to go in here. Like that. And it's going to put cobblestone in there, and then we have 2 slots for recipes. And bam. That's a recipe. It's on. We don't have to click remember for anything because it's automatically going there. But that's doing 2 products for us, which would be fine, I think, because we'd be able to do just up to sand. So honestly, we'd only need the other tier to get the full potential out of this machine. Right? Okay. So the next thing is going to be power. A good way to get power onto this would probably be those leadstone. Making some more leadstone flux ducts. It's probably going to be our best bet. There's an easy way we could hook these up. Hook them up like this. And then down here we're going to have the auto-compressed machine. And it's going to automatically drop its contents into the hopper below, so that's not a problem I'm worried about. We have to get the leadstone flux duct hooked up to power. And that's where we're going to do this. We're going to integrate the 2 different power systems. And we could honestly hook it up here, I think. Right? Do these not connect? Yeah, they connect. It just wasn't connecting to here, I think, because I'm standing on it. Yeah, I bet that's what it is. That'd be more convenient. Let me try and get that hooked up there. There we go. That looks a lot nicer. And I can just use the power cables like such. And connect, and connect. There we go. So now all of this has power. As you can see, this does work pretty slow, but if you have hammers in there, it's going to go a little bit faster. And right now, it doesn't look like it's gaining enough power to run at max efficiency, which would be consuming 120 RF per tick. But once we get another water wheel made, we will have that amount. No problem. But the supplement power, there is a way we can just give it some supplement power. And I think... Let's see, what would be the best way of doing this? Probably here. I want to know what this block is behind this. Perfect. So we can run power right back here behind this block. Alright, so there we go. Now we have pretty good power running through there, and that's coming from that supplemental power that we are infinitely generating right here. It does look like it is consuming quite a bit. It's running our buffer down, is that basically what it's doing. But I think we're producing just enough, possibly, to keep this running full-time. I don't know. I don't think it is. But it is running a little bit faster. And that should effectively go in here and keep this running non-stop almost. Which would help. Does adding the hammers... No, it doesn't change the power or anything like that. So Let's just place her chest back down. And effectively, we've started to work out some kinks in this small area. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please leave a like, and also click that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have clicked that subscribe button, please think about clicking that notification button, and that way you guys can join the notification squad and be one of the first to comment on the video if that's something you enjoy doing. And as always, thanks for watching.